Hey, how are you? I'm SliceofOtaku, and a while back on Twitter, I questioned a recent decision of Garnet's. In the episode Legs From Here to Homeworld, despite going directly into the lion's den, something that Bismuth made an incredibly valid point about, the fact that as a diamond, Homeworld belonging is essentially Steven's birthright, whereas everyone else may be viewed as disposable, especially given their respective situations of living, Garnet enters the fray as a mixed fusion, an off-color gem. Now, because of the situational timing of this trip to Homeworld, it could be argued that because Garnet is newly married, that she has no intention of being separated, which I think is valid. And it should also be noted that just because they've gotten married doesn't mean we won't ever see Ruby and Sapphire separated again, as stated by Rebecca Sugar herself. But you know, after a mini arc of the two being apart, to bring Garnet back for a single episode, only to be separated again, in terms of storytelling might have been a bit much, and so that's why they didn't do that. So yeah, with this video, I kinda wanna try and give Garnet a bit more credit than that. And yes, Homeworld is an incredibly hostile and dangerous environment for any off-color gem, but maybe that's the whole reason she's presenting herself as such. This trip to Homeworld is such an unlikely chance occurrence, something that is most definitely way off the rails of future vision probability if the episode pool hopping is any indication. And so when presented with such a rare opportunity, I wouldn't be surprised if Garnet decided to seize it for all it's worth, despite the inherent dangers of such a bold statement. In the episode Your Mother and Mind, beyond providing the audience with an idea of Crystal Gem and Homeworld propaganda and the historical discrepancies associated with that, the final takeaway is this inspirational moment of realization. The realization that on Homeworld, there must be countless other off-color gems. Gems below the surface trapped in a perpetual state of confusion, fear, and turmoil, all either based on the way they were created or the way they choose to live. And I mean, even before being hit by the Pink Diamond revelation, Garnet was well equipped to educate other off-color gems as to the joys of self-acceptance and the dismantling of oppression. But now that she's been met with the proper historical context, she's been forced to reevaluate her ideology, which is no doubt an incredibly frightening and uncomfortable situation to be in, as a person's beliefs may very much direct their way of life. But to recognize such things and be made to take a step back, question and reconsider the preconceived, what you may ideally be left with is a far more grounded and powerful message. An educated, prospectively well-endowed doctrine, which may then be passed to others, further generations who may also find credence with said vision. By simply existing as herself, Garnet serves as a beacon of inspiration and hope, the very same thing that Pink Diamond was said to have seen in her, which impacted her mentality. In order for such major cultural advancements to take place, you need trailblazers and pioneers. The fact of the matter is, a lot of things deemed unacceptable by Homeworld standards are very much rooted in ignorance, which certainly isn't an excuse, but rather an invitation to change. The decision to visit Homeworld in this way is an incredibly dangerous one. Garnet could have easily done the same thing that she had in the episode Gem Heist and unfused for some sort of ruse, but I'd like to think that being this bold must have a reason behind it. If her presence can at the very least get the gems of Homeworld to ask questions, then she would have already made an ideological impact the likes of which Homeworld hasn't seen in thousands of years, which is major and really wonderful. But yeah, what do you guys think about a possible off-colored ambassador in the form of Garnet? And you know, after saying all of this out loud, it kind of feels like a necessary evolution for her character. And now I kind of want to hit you guys with a hypothetical. Let's say that the crystal gems have to leave Homeworld for whatever reason. How would you feel if Garnet were to stay behind, finding and leading any off-color gems still on the planet? Because to me that sounds really cool and exciting, but to be fair, because our perspective is chained down to Steven, it's a little less cool and reminds me why I hate the stupid Steven clause so much. But whatever, let me know in the comments. Oh, and in the last video, I asked if you'd want to see a Q&A video, and a bunch of you were down, so leave me your questions in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, any of those. Just not my email though, because some of you have tried to hit me up on there and that's just not the place unless it's business or something of that nature. But yeah, I'm excited, so please ask me some cool questions. And obviously I'm not taking theory questions because those are long-winded and what I do normally, so why would you want that? Anyways, thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.